Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have the finals of the ELD Legacy Open. It's actually going to be Jeremy on Esper Stoneblade. A incredibly scrappy performance to get here. Made it in as the 8th seed, winning in on tiebreakers, going 3-2, hanging in there the whole time. Not have been surprised to see some type of concession and prize split in that final round, as his opponent was definitely going to make it in if they won, and he needed to beat out multiple people on tiebreakers, but he did get there. He has fought his way to the finals, and now he's facing down 8-cast, run by none other than Mog Fanatic himself. Was opened up on a Chalice of the Void, cantripped already with an Urza's Bauble, facing down Stoneforge Mystic, which has taken out a lot of players today. Quite a toolbox available to Stoneforge. Of course, that'll just continue to grow over the years. Recently, we've got the new Lion from Kamigawa. Let's see if that impacts this matchup. But we've got Batterskull, Umezawa's Jite, perhaps Cauldron Complete, and Urza's Saga being sacrificed here. Not getting a body. Umezawa's Jite is in hand and going to be able to grab a Pithing Needle. Now, the fact that Jite was grabbed does make me wonder if there's a Batterskull in hand. Force a will battle over this Thought Monitor. And I'll tell you, it really hurts to lose a battle over a draw 2 like this. It just exacerbates the problem. You're down 2 cards, they're down 0 cards because they've recouped the 2. Plus they have the body, which of course is of great utility in this deck, tapping for Kappa Cannoneer, recurring it with Emery. I mean, there's nothing wrong at all with having a 2/2 flying artifact on board, in the bin, in hand. No matter where this card is, it's good for this deck. Continuing the game plan, and Thought Monitor now helping Kappa Cannoneer come out, and Lightning Greaves speeding up the clock significantly. So Kappa Cannoneer does enter with that +1/+1 counter, making him unblockable the turn he comes into play. We're actually talking to Mog about this, saying, man, wouldn't it be great if you could play Lightning Greaves in this deck? Take advantage of that. Can't be blocked on the first turn, speed things up by at least a full turn, and it can be passed around. Very often this deck can get multiple things on board that all want haste. Case in point here, we've got Emery. However, Umezawa's Jite might take her out. No, he's actually going to let that happen. Emery very dangerous. The Jite could have had counters removed, unless, of course, I'm wrong. It's possible that the Jite... No, he's equipped it, so the Pithing Needle is almost certainly naming Stoneforge Mystic. Was my guess. Would not be surprised if Jeremy has a larger equipment in hand. I don't know that Jite is actually the go-to in this matchup. Unless, of course, that's to kill specifically Emery, which is a play he did not make, so I'm skeptical of that. Both going to be unblockable here. All sorts of damage coming in. That's going to be the concession. Might have just been lethal. But Chalice at 1, Chalice at 2, everything going perfectly there for 8 casts, exactly as you draw it up. Counter magic to protect important spells. Looking to enter into a war of attrition where you're just outdrawing your opponent thanks to Emery, able to recur Urza's Bauble. Your actual threats, if they do manage to counter Kappa Cannoneer or Thought Monitor, you can just bring that back. Emery is just a devastatingly powerful card. Certainly on par power level with cards like Sylvan Library, this type of deck. Of course, it is a little bit more vulnerable, being a creature, also being blue. But that's what Chalice is for, shutting down things like Pyroblast and Swords to Plowshares. So Mog up a game here in the finals. What Chris can do to answer back. Sorry, it's actually Jeremy. Oh, nice. Edited it live during the tournament. Chalice and Stoneforge. Got Force of Will, stopping the Stoneforge. Showing up. Such a long card. Ancient Tomb. This 8-cast deck, quite a mixture of some of the most powerful cards in the format. Pretty greedy in terms of the number of cards, if we're thinking about it in terms of our upcoming team unified. Oh, there's a little bit of sneaky tech there. We've got a Flusterstorm in hand. Of course, you can play that through your own Chalice. Get countered. The copies will not. Additional counter magic. Emery's looking to return. Emery is going to choose a card in the graveyard. You can cast that card this turn. So you can't really get around this Lion Sash. Or Slash Lion. There we go, Lion Sash. A white Scavenging Ooze. Starts out a little bit smaller. Appa Cannoneer showing up. Baleful Strix. Does not trade. Swords to Plowshares at 5 mana. Is not the most efficient spell, but it does actually get rid of the Kappa Cannoneer, unable to return with Emery. Crucible of Worlds. Create some interesting timing considerations with cards like Lion Sash. Playing a land doesn't use the stack, so anytime that Mog has priority, he can replay a land from his graveyard without Jeremy being able to say anything about it. Despite having an answer on board, it's just, there's nothing to respond to there. Baleful Strix. Trading. Doing its best. Sash Lion hoping to get big enough to be of consequence. Teferi also really trying to make things come together. Shadow Spear, kind of a mini Armadillo Cloak. Trample, Lifelink, +1/+1. Really push aggro decks to a terrible corner. They simply can't outrace a monster construct, and it passes around for only 2 mana. Fury is a good answer to constructs. But when you have so many Urza's Sagas, a little tough to keep up. So many sagas. Oak. Or improvise, I think it actually is. Slightly different mechanic. Wasteland. Not super helpful here with Crucible on board. Jeremy does need to continue making land drops and find a way to pull himself back into this game. Mog only 1 card in hand, but so much potential on board. These Urza's Sagas essentially represent 4 extra constructs. Which make each other bigger. The synergy is absolutely brutal. One of my favorite mechanics, or I don't know, ways that math play out. I don't know what you would call it. Just the contrast in between linear growth and exponential growth. Those constructs can get out of hand so quickly. Instead of just getting progressively bigger, they all get bigger at the same time. So 5 of them, 5 times 5 for 25. And that is going to do it. Kappa Cannoneers, unblockable. Anytime an artifact enters the battlefield, those Baleful Strixes simply not able to hang with the new Blastoise, as Andy Mogg is our new ELD Legacy Open champion. Next one's coming up actually pretty quickly, May 7th. We are doing these every month. Championship playmat for the winner, 100% of entries to our top 8 as credit. And of course, there's player swag and additional giveaways. So if you are in the area, love to see you come down to the store and join the fun. Peace.